Hello everyone and welcome. Today I'm going to be checking out the first tree. I'm not sure entirely what the game's about. I know you play as a fox, and I know it's just a story. There's no combat, but there's exploration and collection and stuff, I think. Let's check it out. Simple graphics, but fairly pleasing to the eye at least. Am I playing? Oh, I am a
Are you
fox.
awake? I thought I heard you get up.
Yeah, I'm awake. Sorry, I just can't sleep.
Are you thinking about him?
Yeah, a bit. Usually get back to sleep, my love. I'm fine.
No, it's okay. What else is on your mind?
I don't know, it seems weird, but I had one of the most vivid dreams of my life. I saw a fox on a snowy mountain, just looking confused and worried. Those eyes. I can't get those eyes out of my head. She was running in the windy snow, looking for something.
Do you think it has to do with you and what's been going on?
I don't know. It was just a dream, Rachel. They're not meant to make sense. A lot's happened the past couple days, that's all.
Well, if you're not going to sleep anyway, you should tell me. I want to hear.
All right.
So are we in this man's dream, or is he dreaming about an actual fox? And I guess it was instructions. I'm looking for something, is all I've been told. Lots of invisible walls. So it seems like I have a jump, and I can toggle run. There's an interact button, but I don't have anything to interact with. And other than that, it's just movement, it seems like. Just gonna be an invisible wall? Yeah. Oh wait, that's just a visible wall. That's not an invisible wall, that's just a wall. Alright, so we've mostly wandered around this field. Tree. It seems like maybe there's something with the tree there because it looks like that would be an exit to this field type area. Um, and this is the cave I came out of, right? Yes. Let's go see if this tree has anything to be done with it. Oh, I can, oh, straight jump over the tree. This fox has some hops, I'll tell you what. Huh. Check down here. Probably gonna be an invisible wall over here though, isn't there? No, not yet. Hmm. Oh, is this something? A little bit of a campsite, maybe? Hmm. Cool. Just wandering about. I feel like the trees in the distance have better resolution than the trees close to me. Or they just look more like real trees. Did the paw prints stay? Oh, paw prints stay? How long did the paw prints stay? Oh, they go away. Can I make it up this? Gonna go out of bounds. Speedrun strats. All right, let's follow this little road here and see if it leads somewhere. See if we can hear more about this man's dreams. That lens flare is pretty over the top. Oh, there's something here. Oh no.
So, not far from her home, she followed that path to something unexpected.
Is this her baby? Is that all he has to say about it? Oh no. Does that mean there's gonna be more? Oh no.
She couldn't stay, though. She had to find her other 2 children. So she took that path. She followed it towards something ancient. Something with answers.
This better be either a talking tree or a talking owl. That's something ancient with answers. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be a talking tree since the name of the game is The First Tree. A little bit of a hint. I don't know why that didn't click at first.
Looked high and low, searching for any sign of her cubs. Points of light showed the way to this ancient tree. It was as if each one had a story to tell, all their own. The land was trying to tell my story, too. I felt like I was right behind her the whole time.
Alright, so confirmed the narrator is dreaming and narrating his dream as we play it. Whether or not he's dreaming of real events or if it's just a dream will be seen in the future, I assume. Birdies. And so we found one dead baby fox, and we're gonna go talk to the oldest tree, the first tree, I guess, to find answers about what happened to the fox's other babies? Playground toys, one is broken. I get the feeling that the dream's not going to be one-to-one, right? Like the guy's not going to be depressed because his child passed away or something and that's why he's dreaming this way, is it? Oh, it probably is. Because this looks like a kid's school desk knocked over with, does that say Joseph? Oh no. Yeah, lots of broken children's related items. Not a good sign. Collectibles though. Dead kids, but oh, piece of candy. What is this? We're digging something up?
Did you ever do show and tell in your class?
Yeah, I think I only did it once, when I was in the 4th grade. You know how my life was around then. I wanted to show my class what helped pass the time and distracted me, so I brought a dozen paper cranes I had made. I think I told everyone how badly I wanted to be a bird and fly, embarrassingly enough.
Don't be embarrassed. Every kid wants to fly. For me, it was another toy from my dad, a wooden boat. I remember guarding it so carefully in my hands as I walked into class. When I sat down, a group of boys immediately made fun of it. They asked which trash can I found it in, or why an ugly log was my favorite toy. When I got up, I didn't even want to tell them my dad had carved it. I said it was a joke gift my friends had given me.
Kids can be so cruel.
Some of them are. I shouldn't have let them get to me, but it did. It's amazing we bounced back at all.
So maybe his son didn't die, maybe his father died and he's remembering his father through memories of all these childhood items? It could go either way, I guess. Are these all going to be Joseph as well? Yes, Joseph. You know, show and tell, now that they say that, I don't know why, but I just randomly had the thought. Show and tell was the original social media in a way. Like Twitter and TikTok and Instagram, MySpace, and Facebook. Those are all just show and tell taken to the next level when you think about it. Digging up more
Do you
toys?
remember what my dad did for a living?
Wasn't he
Train?
like a lumberjack?
Oh.
That's one way of putting it. If wood was a canvas, then a carving knife was his paintbrush. Even after working a 50-hour week, even after his hands were more splinters than skin, he would bring home the nicest piece of Alaskan weeping cedar and make me toys. That wooden train was the first toy I can remember, and I loved it. I just knew from a young age I was going to be a lumberjack, like my father.
I'm definitely getting the vibe more so that it's his father that passed away now. So his dad used to carve him toys, and he was a lumberjack. Oh, there's double jump. His fox has double jump. Okay, I'm leaning towards the events in his dream are not real events, and they're just him dealing with his grief path, perhaps. I do have to say on the show and tell note, show and tell is probably healthier than Instagram and whatnot, because at least you don't have people trying to use the platforms to, you know, get to kids for advertising and corrupting them and stuff. Teacher supervision, a little bit more wholesome. I sound like a real boomer now, eh? What do we have over here?
Usually those kids would leave me alone, but somehow they could tell I was different. They made fun of how far away I lived. They called my dad a sourdough. I was a blabbermouth.
A sourdough?
Telling my dad stories I made up for hours. But after that show and tell, I didn't tell him much anymore.
Oh,
He didn't know exactly what was wrong, but his best guess was that the toys he carved weren't cool enough. He carved me a tank and tried to tell me what it was like to be in a real tank as a serviceman.
I didn't know your dad was in the military.
Yeah, in the army. The sad thing is that I'd pretty much forgotten until just now. There's so much I still don't know about him.
I'm sorry. He knows how much you love him. You're going to see him again soon and have some closure, I'm sure.
is his father not passed away then? Or is she mean like you'll see him again at the funeral, have closure or something like that? That's pretty sad if so. You know what though? That tank looks cool to me. Especially since I'm getting the feeling this guy's gotta be growing up in the 70s at the latest, right? I mean, I still had show and tell growing up, and I grew up in the 90s, so... I guess he could have been born in the 80s, this man. But I mean, it's no worse than any toy, for sure. The edges were a little bit rough, but that's kind of a nice quality for something. It gives it character. But I mean, maybe it was he was growing up in the generation where everyone was starting to get electronic stuff. So everyone else had electronic, new fancy things, and he just had more traditional stuff, so... Especially where they were saying he came from far away. Yeah. Is this supposed to be a TV? And he had more of the toys where you need to have imagination to play. Perhaps he was more rural and the city kids were all making fun of him. I'm probably overthinking it, but that seems what what this game's about, is overthinking it. I see something over there. Is that a Humvee? Or just a regular Jeep? No, this looks like... Yeah, this looks like military armored vehicle type thing. Oh, what's this? Rabbits? Can't really do anything with it, it seems. The music's kind of nice. I know it's just repeating, but it doesn't sound that repetitive. Oh. Definitely dream events and not real life? Huh. Unless it took this wolf until the next season. Well, unless it took this fox until the next season to get to where the ancient tree would be. Which I assume is not the case, because then... Oh, what's this? Little firework? Because then her cubs would be, like, probably full grown, right? Is this indication that there's something up there? What was this? Oh, right. They're all just things you dig up. More toys? Oh.
My teenage years were full of sketching, angst, and trouble. I wasn't popular or unpopular. Maybe just forgettable.
Cassette tape?
I guess that gave me a sense of freedom. So I hung out with crazy kids, doing crazy things, even though I mostly just watched the chaos ensue. We did it all. Put fireworks in mailboxes, hide roadkill in people's garages, break windows of the barber shop in Anchorage. My dad was furious, but he was so busy working he couldn't do much to stop me from going out.
I think being an adult means there's no one to stop you making hard decisions. He had to make a living, and he couldn't be in two places at once.
Yeah, I realize that now. But at the time, I was sure he was more interested in growing his business than what was going on with me.
So there was some issues of not enough attention from Dad. So Anchorage, that's Alaska, I'm pretty sure. So he grew up in Alaska. Butterflies? Oh. No. Oh, okay, so it follows me. Okay. I don't know if there's anything reason to collect those, but if you see collectibles, you gotta collect them, right? Otter Lake, police station, search area, barbershop. So I guess he grew up in rural Alaska, and it looks like he might have had a troubled childhood, some run-ins with the law from all the mischief he got up to with his friends. Huh. What else is around? Let me just double check back a little bit. I didn't miss anything. That's a surveillance camera. Baseball caps? Is that meant to be... Oh, is that meant to be a camo cap and a medic cap, perhaps? I'm getting perhaps there was no mother in the picture as well. I don't know if it's too early to tell about that. Anything in particular about this cop car? No markings to indicate where it's from. Oh. Man, this fox can really jump. More schoolwork knocked over? Oh. Oh no, this is more like an interrogation type thing. Sketch. Photograph, sketch. Perhaps a detective or a sergeant smoking. Alright, dig this up.
He was working another late night, and my friends were over, saying how bored they were and how they had come all the way out to my house for nothing. One of them mentioned how that old, ugly beyond belief truck was still in the garage, and how we should take it for a spin. I was only 15, so I kind of fought it for a while. The next thing I knew, we were careening around the mountain path, rocks spitting onto the sides of the cliff, while my dad's cringeworthy bluegrass blared out the speakers. I drove while my friends were in the back of that yellow and purple truck, throwing beer bottles and trash at anything remotely interesting. Felt like I was soaring in the air with borrowed wings. But all good things have endings. A cop outside of Eagle River pulled us over after he saw us in a bottle rocket into someone's yard. What followed was a long night of talking to disappointed adults and feeling smaller than ever.
Right, so I'm definitely getting... He grew up in a rural place, perhaps the Otter Creek that we saw over there, and his friends were all from Anchorage, well, or something similar to this, which I don't know if you'd call Anchorage a big city, but I'm getting the feeling the Otter Creek was too small to even have a school, so he would have to commute to Anchorage for classes. Oh, can I go get that, those butterflies and bring them over? Must be. And he got peer pressured into joyriding at 15. And I take it his father is a man that would react rather harshly. To his son doing things like that. Waterfall. Oh, that's kind of nice. So there's some very minimal gameplay, just a little bit of jumping, small amount of platforming. I don't know if you really call it platforming. I'm assuming no fall damage, seeing as how it's all a dream. Oh, was that the truck that he took joyriding? And we saw the cassette tape, so he probably did grow up in the 80s to early 90s. Cassettes were almost gone by the time I was using
After
cassettes.
he drove me home from the police station, I blew up at him, saying how I never wanted to be like him. I was gonna be someone and leave that hick icebox for good. He just looked forward at the road with tired eyes. I took out that bluegrass tape from the cassette deck and chucked it out the window. In my sage teenage wisdom, I thought I proved the ultimate point. But my dad had a different idea. He slammed the brakes, slowly bowed his head while gripping the steering wheel, and finally looked at me. All he said, like it was a polite request, was, "Make this right." I sat there in silence, fuming, but I eventually got out and combed every square inch of the woods, muttering profanity after profanity. I found it 30 minutes later, near a small waterfall off the road. I went back to the truck, put the wet tape back in, and sure enough it worked. We didn't speak another word to each other the rest of the night.
Wow, I knew you were a crazy teenager, but
It's hard to believe, isn't it? It surprises me too. It's like I didn't really know who that kid was back then. I bet my dad thought the same thing over and over. It's almost like he was saying, make this right to himself, more than to me.
There's lots of butterflies around big jumps, but I'm not 100% sure on locations I need to jump to. Oh, does that might as well take one with me while I wander off. Make this right. Oh, interesting way of doing a tutorial. It's not the most in-depth tutorial, but I understand. I need to get all 3 butterflies and bring them over. And it gave me a chance to notice this over here as well. What do we have? Pencil, barbershop. Oh, just more articles from the little town he grew up in. I guess I should take the 3 butterflies up to the truck there real quick and see if there's any secrets. I wanted to get this one first in case, yeah. I think jumping is required to get it, and you would use up the butterflies by jumping. Butterfly 2. Butterfly 3. I'll probably have to collect them all again. I hope it's worthwhile, whatever's up here. You can't just skip something so obvious in a game like this, though, right? Oh, no. Now there's gotta be a way to get up there. I'll skip ahead to myself getting the jump. Alright, now what's up here? Couple of collectible lights. It's just the truck. There's nothing to see other than, oh look, I can stand on the side. Okay. Alright.
My friends would laugh about that night and talk about how crazy it was. And I laughed along, pretending it didn't bother me. But it did. I imagined my friends growing old in the bush, unable to find that thrill in those godforsaken ice fields. It's like those mountains were a literal wall, keeping me from leaving, where all I would have to look forward to are lumber yards and evening views. I had to climb over. That was my only goal for a long time.
So he really wanted to get out of there. There's always a few that really want to get out.
If there was some way I could take my love of drawing and turn it into a way of escape, nothing would make me happier. I wanted to create instead of tearing trees down. I wanted to move to the lower 48, not because I hated it there in Alaska, but I hated the idea of it. It's like all of that spite inside me had created this monster which followed me around my whole teenage years. I put so much energy into doing what others didn't expect of me. Why did I do that?
There's one fact you're forgetting, though. If you didn't have that fire in you, we probably would have never met.
You're absolutely right. Maybe the destination is all that matters in the end. But then why am I awake? Why am I seeing this fox go on her journey? And why can't I stop thinking about my dad?
I mean, those things don't really seem contradictory. Especially if your father's recently passed. And even if he hasn't passed and you were trying to reconcile. And don't forget, you're not at the destination yet. You're still on the journey. Those geysers? Great big open fields. So he became an artist of some sort, it seems. Oh, it's getting dark. Oh. That's the end of that zone. Oh, we're going through like all the seasons, are we? Oh my gosh. Or does this zone just have a different tone to it? Maybe I'm overthinking. Alright. Follow the lights. Although this gives me more of a fall vibe than anything. Whereas we went winter and then it felt like summer. I didn't feel like the last place felt like spring. I don't know if it was meant to be. So maybe the seasons thing is just my imagination and not really what is going on. Not as many items around all over the place anymore. Something up there. They perhaps had items spread more closely at the beginning, so you get a feel of the game. I really like the music, even though it's just simple. Just atmospheric. Is he not an artist? Is he an architect? I mean, it's arguable that architects are a type of artist, especially ones that work in certain industries in certain ways, right? Oh. Flying fox. The drift on him. Oh, don't jump yet. Oh, did I lose my sprint? Is that what happened? I did. Yeah. Not sure how I lost the sprint, but alright. Oh my gosh. Dream boxes jump super high, eh? Just collectibles. Probably collectibles leading to a little bit of a view back. Oh, don't fall. I might change the camera sensitivity a bit. Yeah, camera looks a little bit quicker there now. Oh, what is this? 0 of 3? I'm not sure what this is indicated. Maybe it'll become clear later. I need to collect 3 of something to activate whatever that is. Uncertain. I think I saw something not nature on the ground over here. Oh, camping. I didn't realize that was a tent at first. I was like, what is this? A shield? Piano time. Something in the distance there. Something over there as well, perhaps? Alright, let's dig up this first, and then we can check out that barn? Shed? House? What do we got?
On our property, there were old abandoned pieces of a shed and car long left unused.
Oh, it is a shed.
I used to ask him all the time who those people were that left all this junk. And I'm sure he got so tired of hearing it that he made up some elaborate stories how a brown bear ate them and haunted the woods afterwards. What's funny is I think it made those people seem more real. Growing up thinking they were still hanging out like they couldn't say goodbye. I used to tell my friends how I could swear I saw spirits move near the water, and that always freaked them out. I guess it didn't bother me, because the way I saw it, they were normal people with old cars and sheds, just trying to figure out how to survive and be happy in the middle of nowhere. It was a cool thought that they didn't want to leave, but you know, I was a weird kid.
Well, you had good company since those ghosts like living in a place where they were brutally devoured.
Okay. I like how that implies that not only are ghosts real, but they have a choice about where they live if they are. Which, who knows, maybe. Hmm? Looks like a briefcase. Either way, it's if he is an architect, it doesn't look that artistic. And he was talking about how he loved drawing. So I wonder. I mean, to be fair, I'm sure that a lot of people that are artistic and become architects don't always have the opportunity to always work on artistic work. Lots of corporate and business work pays the bills, I imagine. Not that I'm an authority on that kind of thing. Just what I would think. Alright, what do we have here? Oh no, I missed one. I don't know why I'm collecting these for. These collectibles almost feel like they're included to, they are pretty good at leading you towards stuff, because I noticed that something on the ground over here. But it's almost included to make it be like, this has to be a game and not a movie. Alright, he's got a sketchbook here. And he's making houses on here too. So it's definitely got to be an architect, is my take on it. More lights. I don't see any points of interest. What is that? It might just be a rock in between the other rocks, but it's hard to tell from a distance. Certainly worth taking a second to check. A mattress and Coca-Cola cans by looks of it. I zoomed in, well, not zoomed in, but adjusted the angle to see whether or not they were beer cans or not. Sending a different message then. But they seem to be soda cans. I think I already saw those. Yeah, I've been over here, right? Alright, let's head out. Yeah, it had me turn right and go up that road, I believe, with the lights. So now we'll take the other fork in the road by the looks of it. There still seems to be a main path there. Oh, didn't run into it. Something up on the hill. I have to admit, even though I was saying the collectibles seem sort of out of place, they're really good at guiding you without having to put you on rails. So I have to say well done for that, I guess. I feel like I would need a set of butterflies to make this. Although, can I just jump up the back? Oh yeah, you can just go up the back. You don't actually have to make the jump. Are those just collectibles? I don't see anything that was leading me towards. That seemed to have just been there for the sake of being there. Okie doke. I'm digging up some history.
My dad built a lot of stuff in his free time. If he wasn't watching fly fishing or reading Tom Clancy novels, he was carving something. He made tons of birdhouses. Not that he was into bird watching, but I think he really missed working and adding on to the home. If he couldn't afford the time to build onto our own house, he would have to settle with watching birds move into their little homes. We kept an old mattress in the bed of that ugly yellow truck, so we would drive it deep into the woods and then watch the birds fly into their houses while the sun set. Usually it was accompanied by venison jerky or a cold Coke, but not a lot of talking, which is how we both liked it.
So yeah, the mattress we found was that with the Coca-Cola cans. That's he makes it sound tense, but I mean that's not a bad way to spend time. It's also interesting to note that they took the birdhouses into the wilderness, so they weren't for their own satisfaction solely, like they didn't put them up in their yard. They put them up wherever they could be of use, which is not a bad idea. I also like how they managed to cram like every stereotype into his father. Birdhouses, construction, lumberjack, Tom Clancy, silent army man. Not that there aren't people like that, but when you're writing someone, you make the conscious thought to put every stereotype into one person. I guess it makes a stronger or easier image for the audience to imagine. This is definitely like Celeron slash at most Celeron, maybe like 386, 486, 586, whatever they were called territory. So perhaps the main character is similar to my age or a little bit older. Born late 80s, early 80s. If these are the memories of items he has. Okay, oh, there's a big light up at the top of the hill. What do you say?
We were happiest underneath the evergreens. We decided it was time to finally map out the hundreds of acres we lived on just to pass the time during the summer. He was only free in the evenings, so I would spend the day wasting time on dial-up internet and sketching, and then we would rush into the woods, pen and map in hand, before evening fell. Sometimes, the aurora borealis would cast a cold green glow on the mountainside, and we would finish our route underneath a twilight sky. Sometimes I was lonely during those summer days, but there was comfort in the routine.
A lot of teenagers aren't looking for the daily grind, though. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get out, to leave your childhood home. You wanted to progress, to make something of yourself.
Yeah, you're right. That house. I'm sure it's the same as how I left it. But then why does it feel so different?
I doubt you're the only adult to have looked back and asked that question.
Dial-up internet, but he had computer at home, which was not something you would have if, super early on if you weren't like rich. So that's got to be a memory from the early-ish 90s, right? So we're talking, yeah, same range I was thinking. Anything in from that? Just sending us down this little route in the back. I assume this is the way to get up to where the thing was on the mountain. Hope I didn't skip one. Pretty sure I didn't. What do we have here? A cave? Another one of these things, but we didn't figure out what this was before. Oh, I just had the timing wrong. Oh no. Oh no. Is that collectible important? Hope that collectible's not important. It makes a really glowy stone, though. You know what? I'm gonna go back and get that other collectible, but I'll skip ahead in the video so you guys don't have to watch me run all the way back there. Alright, so I went and got that other light up stone, and we've already gone right down that road, and we've gone left down that road. So let's go straight ahead and see what's next. I don't know if getting those 3 stones lit up is going to be relevant. Maybe it's necessary and I would have had to do it anyways. But I don't want to miss out if it was something. Okay, light up on this hill. This isn't the first tree, is it? It does look different, but...
Even at my most distant, at the times when I detested him the most, he kept reaching out. For a year straight, he asked me every week when we were going camping. I thought he was just dense. Eventually, to shut him up, I agreed. We carried out the worn lawn chairs from the garage and set up a cinder block campfire at the site we'd always used behind the house. We walked down the mountain path, talking in the warm sunshine we only got a couple months of the year. Those 3 obsidian rocks shimmered alongside the shore, almost like sparklers pressed against a dark window. I'll never forget that wet stone on my feet, or how those massive mountains looked even bigger in the lake's reflection. I felt small, but grateful. As the sun set, my dad found something I hadn't seen for a long time. The tree where I'd made my first carving when I was 6. I hadn't even carved it. My dad had helped me, but I still called it my tree. Something about seeing my name there made me open up, and we talked about everything that night in that old camouflage tent. I told him how much I loved sketching and design, and how it would be a dream to study architecture in Seattle. I told him how I didn't get along with my friends much anymore, but that I didn't mind being alone. He told me he was there for me, and he joked that if all he had to do was write my name on a tree to finally get me to talk, he would have left me carved logs with novels on them in front of my room every morning. I don't know why it took me that long to realize it, but it was then I knew how much he had sacrificed for me. The perpetrator stood nearby, unfazed, like nothing was wrong. My dad is dead, and he's never coming back, Rachel. I can tell you these stories, but I can never reminisce with him again. He can never hold a grandchild that we'll probably never be able to have. I can never talk to him again, and I'll never be able to say I'm sorry for everything.
Wow, that was out of nowhere almost. So not only has his father passed away, his father was murdered. That was kind of blindsiding you with that one. I kind of got the feeling that his father had passed away either from a disease or old age originally. And we saw the second of the fox's cubs there as well. So confirmed architect. I probably could have moved quicker with that. I just didn't know if running up to that wolf would have gave like a loading screen to the next story beat, and I wanted to make sure not to interrupt his narration. And it seems like the first tree is double meaning, or well, Maybe the original meaning is just the meaning it had to him as a kid, where he made his first carving. And the 3 rocks definitely were necessary to open up the roots to let us through. Are we gonna find one cub alive for this fox all, I wonder? Or is it gonna go full depression on us? Are those trees loading in, or are they meant to be getting bigger like that for atmospheric reasons? And I have one small thought that's probably just not quite right. They said you'll get to see him again and have some closure. Were they talking about the father or the perpetrator, I wonder? Alright. That was quite a little run they had there. I guess they wanted you to think about the story he told there. Alright, what are we gonna find here? The murder weapon?
Go to bed. I just can't talk about this anymore. Good night.
Letters. That best not be the end of the game. I'm going to bed later. I mean, maybe he'll show up now because he was narrating the dream, but now he's going to go and dream, is he not? Here comes the load. Which season is this?
Joseph,
I guess. Oh.
you can't go to sleep feeling like this. I'm sorry for everything, and I know you need space, but I'm here for you. You don't need to feel so lost. Joseph, have I ever told you what my mother was like?
Oh. It's like, look around. Is that a deer?
You know what it's like not to have a mom at home.
The cranes.
And you know how hard that made my childhood. What helped me was watching the birds in the morning before the school bus came. I thought that my mother was one of those birds, and it made me want to be free like her. My mom taught me how to fold origami cranes while she was in the hospital. So I told myself I would fold one every day until I could fly myself. I think we both have always loved animals, and for me that love started with a dog. Sometimes this Rottweiler would come up to our property line and wait at the fence for me, but only once in a while. I was sure to check every day immediately after school, and it usually ended in disappointment. I would even steal money from my passed-out dad just so I could buy these off-brand dog biscuits. Even when she did stop by, she never went beyond the fence. Why was she so scared? I think my dad was the opposite of your dad in almost every way, except he was in the military as well. He coped with alcohol of every kind. The trailer started falling apart, he got angry, and I withdrew. More and more I became the weird, quiet kid who made lots of origami birds and carried dog biscuits around. I think we were pretty similar when it came to being the weird kids. And that same sincerity in college was one of the reasons I was so drawn to you. Life got worse and worse, and at one point, I really didn't think I could survive another day with my soul still intact. I had no real friends, let alone neighbors, since we lived in the middle of nowhere. I should have talked to my teacher, but I was scared what he would do if he found out. As I waited for the school bus one morning, I walked around until I found something in an abandoned shed. Something I can't put into words. I summoned courage I didn't know I had, and I broke into my dad's room and found the key to the shed where he had locked my bike. I'll never forget that feeling. The wind rushing by my ears as the sun rose over fields of wheat. I was flying for the first time. I biked as far as my legs could take me until I found a house that felt friendly, and that felt like home. Those strangers helped me in so many ways. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have found my foster family. And if it wasn't for my parents, I wouldn't have met you. You have strength, Joseph, and you're not as alone as you think.
It's all just so pointless. Just waiting for life to happen. It's like having the home I always wanted is cursed out of my reach. The thought of being a parent myself. How could I do that when I couldn't even be a good son? I'm sorry. I know what you're saying. I just don't know how things will work out. These quiet hours will turn into years. We'll wonder which roads passed us by.
Then we'll forge a new road together. Besides, I discovered for myself that one fateful morning where any hopeful road leads to. There may be thorns and mist, but it always leads to the same thing.
And what's that?
Family.
I'm so glad that you're part of my family, Rachel.
And I'm glad you're part of mine.
I didn't know the story of this game was going to be so sad. It's starting to get they're starting to get showing the beginnings of their happy ending though, I guess. Or at least their ability to move on. Wonder if there's any effect on the story ending or anything with the collectibles, or if it's just gonna say 86 out of 100 or something like that at the end. I like this wall. This wall's like, oh, you forgot this was a game, eh? Time to do some platforming. I mean, to be fair, the platforming in this game is not exactly insane. I probably could make Yeah, I was gonna say, probably you can skip some of these jumps with how much leeway it gives you. They're like, get these collectibles and do these jumps before we tell you that their dog died too. It's the kind of feel I'm getting out of this game right now. Oh, we raining now. Yeah.
The fox knew her last cub would be waiting for her at the first tree.
Oh.
She was almost there. The rain cascaded onto the jade valley where the entrance to the tree was.
I skipped some
Life was
collectibles, I
protected
think.
there, because that's where life began. It was now only a mother and a daughter left. Items from my life still dotted the ground as she moved closer to her destination and destiny.
Did they? I don't see any of those items. Unless maybe I was supposed to see them when I accidentally skipped going down that entire hill. For shame. Oh, I can jump that high anyways. Was I always able to jump that high? It feels like she's jumping even higher now. So the first tree in his mind, or I assume the first tree is analogous to the first tree he carved, is a place of safety for him, I guess? It's where his life as an artist slash architect started? His new life?
At the end of high school, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Drive. I looked into the best architecture schools on the West Coast, then got a dose of reality when looking at other students' portfolios and the high cost of tuition. I still wanted to be something, to be the next Alvaro Siza, and to make those thousands of sketches worth something in my grand history. But now even an internship sounds impossible. Siza helped me understand how essential emotion is in architecture. And he also said light is the real composer of space. I like to think these glints of light, like not finding a job, or even a strange dream about a fox, are something I should be thankful for. Even if the illuminated space is something I'm less than comfortable with.
I hope they're not about to just tell us that he never wished to become an architect too. They're like, you think that's as depressing as we can get? You just wait. They also had that one, oh, what's this? Milling machine? Drill? They also had that one throwaway comment where he said kids will probably never be able to have. I hope these dead cubs aren't like miscarriages, because this game is it's trying to go pretty hard here. Y'all better have a happy ending, you hear? Or at least a new beginning. I guess I did come down this way already. Yeah. Oops. Even the music stopped. The music's like, you're gone the wrong way. I actually totally got lost on purpose, guys, so that I could brace myself for the next Sag information they hit us with. Oh, there's something in the distance. cabin on a hill. Oh. Oh, wow. That's pretty. I don't see anything out there, and usually they would have lights to tell you to go check stuff out, so I'm gonna assume that I'm not missing anything by not going up into the distance there. Here, however... Ah, no. Let me in! Let me in! Alright. Oh, don't fall off. I didn't realize there was gonna be such an edge there. I should have known this this whole thing has been filled with edge. Okay. So that's a lumber mill. I'm gonna take it. Be. So now we're starting to see more items related to his father rather than his own past. The drill and lumber mill, stacks of logs. I don't know how I missed this light coming this way. What do we have?
My dad was super supportive with my college plans. To a point. Things were okay until this terrible accident happened. I guess a forklift flipped over due to a bad axle, and it crushed one of the workers there. My dad didn't eat for days, even though he wasn't directly involved. It devastated him. Not only did it hurt the business, but it just freaked him out. He would talk in his sleep, muttering things about firing people and saying sorry. One fateful day he approached me, said that since my school search wasn't going well, I should finally be a man and take over the family business. He said one day he was going to die, and that all of his work, sacrifice, and even that man's life would be wasted in vain. I just lost it. Teenage me just exploded at the thought. I screwed up. I said things I shouldn't have. He was having a crisis, and I pretty much spit in his face.
Alright, adding in that that man's life would also be wasted, that's a little bit harsh. Other than that, though, it seems like not a completely unexpected scenario. But people say weird things when they're broken like that. I don't think I can get up to where that lumber mill is. No music anymore. I wonder if that's to emphasize the sound of the rain. Building empty inside? I'm not sure if there's anything to look at with this building or if the lights just brought you over so you could see it and then go on. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything in particular. Can I look through this window? No, it's just empty inside. Just so quiet now. I do see a light off in the distance there. Okay. I was starting to get a little bit worried there. I didn't see anything to particularly guide me. Okay. What do we have? So somebody was sick. But they said his father was killed, right? There's a hospital bed here. Is this... Did he get hurt at work? Afterwards? Because he couldn't pay proper attention? They're about to throw in, oh yeah, my father's been living with no legs for the last 20 years as well. I shouldn't be making fun of this game, trying to make everything super depressing. It's just my way of dealing with how depressing they're trying to make the game.
Was that the last time you talked to him?
Oh no.
No, I called on holidays, and he would call on my birthday. I guess we acted like nothing ever happened, which was stupid. Didn't want to ask about his lumberyard, and I'm sure he didn't want to ask about my job search. I never went back and visited. I think the last conversation we had was about what movies we had seen and what exactly a best boy is in the credits. I thought he would be here so much longer.
Sad. Best boy. Loading time? Or is that the first tree? Oh, here we go. Oh no. Can't think of anything to really put there. Fox.
Retire a little from sight and afterward return again. Go to sleep, my love. We have a big day tomorrow, but I'll be there with you every step of the way.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. Good night, Rachel.
Good night, Joseph.
Well, oh, is there more? Oh, there is more. Do I have control? No, not yet. If I even do gain control. It certainly looks like I will. I do have control. Okay. I thought those were passports. The Book of Mormon. Oh, no. I assume I'm playing as Joseph now? Or perhaps Rachel? Most likely Joseph, but they might throw you for a... Oh, these... Wow, I'm surprised that there's so much you can interact with and open. Huh. Although, I mean, you can just walk into the room. There's nothing in particular you can do in there. Living room. There's his sketch of the fox. Little fireplace. His father in the military, I assume? This seems more like a residence you would see perhaps in Alaska. But it's 6 months later. There is all the... It does seem like they're either moving stuff away or moving stuff to here. And they hung up the art, although that could be artwork his father had hung up. Is that a generator? What does that sound? It definitely seems like it's a... Bricks! Puppies! That's great. Props for that. Yeah, so they're definitely moving either in or out. I assume in. Oh! A nursery as well. They definitely must be moving in. Okay, I guess we'll head out and see what's going on. Moving you coast to coast. That's a weird way to stop you moving out and in, though, is like that. Go to bed with the thing open. Although I suppose if you're in the middle of nowhere in Alaska, then you don't really have to worry about being robbed or anything. Did I go the back way? Let's follow the main path. I assume that we're meant to go that way. They are on the grid though. So they aren't. They have, well, they have electricity running directly to them and nowhere else around them. So this seems more like a footpath, but they definitely drove on it. Is this open? It's locked. Can I jump? I can jump. Okay. No trespassing? Can I not get out in front of the fence? I must be able to walk up this stone. Yeah, there we go. Is that an invisible wall, or am I just bad? Oh, he does have a run. Okay. I wanted to look at the mailbox, but it doesn't look like there's anything on it anyways. Okay. This is an interesting place to have a home. This reeks of dream still. Because I don't know that they would run an electricity grid out to the middle of nowhere. Random ladder knocked over. Maybe the way to go was behind the house. No music anymore. It's very quiet. More fenced off here. Okay, we can go up here. Very nice place. Is this Joseph having a dream? Is he gonna encounter the first tree himself in his dream? Oh, maybe we have to go and find his first carving. Maybe that's where the game will end. Because like I said, that is his first tree. Doesn't seem like I can go in there. Camping right behind the home? This close? I mean, people do camp in their own front yard, I suppose. It's more like camping than that. I thought that was an animal, that rock. Is this that shed that he was talking about being on the property? Huh. Cracking branch. It does look like it's the same shed. I remember seeing those bottles there. Oh, you can actually go in the tent. I did not realize you could go in the tent.
What the hell?
Is this the fox? Oh, okay. And we'll be following the fox to the first tree, I'm assuming. The first tree that he carved. Or is this just going to be the ending? Music's back. Tone has shifted a little bit from piano time to violin time. From saddish notes to maybe hopeful notes. Am I catching up? Hmm. Certainly looks nice. I mean, it's not like amazing graphics, but they did really well with what they have. Butterflies. Can I jump higher now? And there it is, the first tree. Is this going to be a message that his father left for him? Hmm. Well then, that game is not what I expected. The voices, by the way, it wasn't exactly like professional, like Hollywood voice acting or like, studio voice acting, but it was well done for the fact, like, you could tell there was like at least emotion in the phrases that was typical, because I've seen a lot of bad voice acting in some really high budget video games, and that was a cut above that at the very least. The story was not bad. The pacing was fairly good. I think the pacing was a little bit off at a couple of times, but that might have just been the pace that I was playing through the game at. So the issue there, perhaps, for it's hard to match the pacing to whoever is playing the game. Perhaps a little heavy-handed at times, because they had to make it everything be wrong, and like they even like when they started throwing in his wife also became from an abusive home with no mother and a drunken father and all that. I don't know. It was a little bit heavy-handed, but I mean, at the same time, it's possible. Situations like that have happened in real life where everyone just gets effed over. I'm glad that they ended it on a semi-hopeful note, and I'm glad that they showed that, like, it doesn't have to be a super happy ending, but, they showed that people persevere. That's kind of nice. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed checking out the first tree with me. That was Not what I expected. It was interesting. Have a great day.